Are you ready? Where is it at? John what? 13 and 8. When you get it, would you say amen? Now, let's start at verse 1. It says, now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own, which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. He's talking about the disciples. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. So, Jesus loved them. He ate with them supper. He loved to eat supper with them, like I love to eat with you all. Number 2, I want to give you another revelation here. It says the devil being put in the heart of Judas Iscariot to betray Jesus. I'm going to tell you, everybody who betrayed this ministry, you ain't just betraying me, you're betraying Jesus. For you to betray JMMI, Satan comes in your heart. He's put in your heart. Do you understand that? Do you understand how serious that is? Now, I already know there are people saying, who do you think you are? Who do you think your ministry is that is different from every other ministry? And blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you this, flesh creature. First of all, you in your ministries don't have Jesus or God the Father personally attending services. Number 2, or being face to face. I didn't say having visitations. Many people are having visitations all over the world. You understand that? Just like there were many in Jesus' time doing miracles while he was doing miracles, but they weren't in the inner group. So if they betrayed Jesus, it was different from them betraying Jesus out there and Judas doing it, being inside where the Son of God really was. You see, the Son of God is here on earth. This is his kingdom. So you got to understand there's a different weight when you're in here and you do that stuff. When you be a Judas and you're a traitor, there are heavier consequences. That's why I feel sorry for everyone who's betrayed this, because it's over. You can't betray God like that. Just can't. But listen to this, verse 3. Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from God and went to God. 4, he riseth up from supper and lay aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. See that? After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter saith unto him, Lord, doest thou wash my feet? What did Jesus say to him? Verse 7. Jesus answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, or you don't understand it now, but thou shalt know hereafter. You will understand the ritual of what I'm doing hereafter. You're not mature enough right now to understand this spiritually. Verse 8, read. Peter saith unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Now, why do you think Peter was saying that? Because he was being purposely arrogant? No, he was embarrassed. Number 2, he honored Jesus very much, and he thought that he should be the one serving Jesus. You see that? But that's the problem with the system of the world. It's full of pride. Pride says the one on the top should humble themselves, you should. But God's kingdom said, no, the one on the top should humble themselves and wash your feet. Do you understand that? So Peter was saying, I'm not going to let you do this. You are my Lord. Jesus answered him, says, if I wash thee not, read this with me. Now, this is what Jesus said to me right here a few minutes ago when we were in worship. He appeared to me up here and he spoke these words to me right here. He says, I want you to teach them about this scripture that I taught Peter. If I wash you not, if I wash you not, what? What he says, thou hast what? Now, I asked you a question starting out. How many of you want to have part with Jesus? Do you really want to be connected to him? If he cannot wash you, he has no part with you. So what do you mean? You are clean through the word which I've spoken unto you. If you don't put yourself in a position to hear the words you need to hear from God to get clean for the next level, then you fail. When Satan come in this next dimension that we're going to, some of you won't be ready. Some of you already have started to show signs of offense. A stronghold of offense. And if you don't get rid of that stuff and get clean in your spirit, you ain't going to make it. I'm telling you right now. I know all the signs. You're not going to make it. Because where we're going into the arenas, I'm about to be put totally on Front Street. We're not about to go through no media attacks on social media, on Facebook. What is that? That's stupid. I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to do a Facebook Live against you, David Taylor, every day. More power to you. Please be my guest. Stupid. Think that mean anything? I am already 20 to 10 years ahead of the real attacks that's coming against me that God showed me in a dream. See, I had dreams that Dateline is going to have me on saying I'm a cult. They're just the little roaches that started the lie. But Dateline and CNN, they're going to catch on to it. But they're not, those networks are not attacking us now because we're not massive in the arenas. Well, we're already massive, but I'm talking about in manifestation. Well, we're about to go into the arenas now. There's going to be a major attack. All the news outlets, I'm telling you before time. That's how you know God with me ain't with those suckers. He ain't with Dateline. And God is showing me even now the 2 to 3 people who will be behind this on Dateline and these other syndicates. They're going to drop dead eventually. They're going to have a heart attack for even touching me and speaking evil against me. I want this recorded so we can play this back maybe 8 years from now. So you will know that when it happens, that I'm a real prophet of an ancient order. For turning millions of people away because of your write-up against me that is false. You gotta die. You're killing millions of people. I'm already ready. So you gotta understand, I'm laughing at Facebook attacks. I'm laughing at YouTube attacks. Oh, you all on YouTube. What is YouTube? I'm from a generation, we didn't have no darn YouTube. It was only ABC, CBS. You were big stuff if you on there. Darn YouTube. It's for those millennials. They feel like anybody who got 5 million likes, oh, you're a celebrity. You're an idiot. And all you got to do is be digging in your nose, bringing out boogers, and you're a celebrity. Oh, did you see that? Oh, did you see that? Oh, 6 million likes for digging boogers. Darn stupid. I don't understand this generation. It's just stupid stuff that makes them a sensation. You're not a sensation. You ain't made it. You got to go the real way. Get on real syndicates, real networks. YouTube. We had one person who Jesus appeared to, told him, I'm his friend and I teach what he teaches. Then he told him, he says, I want you to follow this man's ministry because he teaches what I teach. Then when he woke up, he tried to find me and I wasn't on social media. I didn't have a website. So because I didn't have a website, I must not be big. What is a freaking website? See, the generation I come from, you weren't known by no darn website. You was known by being on ABC or the big screen, the movie screen. You understand that? YouTube, Instagram, tweet. I'm just telling y'all, the big attack hadn't even happened. And I'm daring. The devil know I'm staring him down. I already know what he got planned. Satan is going to get in the heart of these syndicates. I already know. Jesus has already shown me. And he know I'm a step ahead of him. He know the war ain't between me and him anymore. He don't even mess with me. He just want to mess with the people following me so he can deceive them so they don't receive. That's what he's after, the people. He knows he's lost with me. He don't hold his head up around me. Do you understand that? He's lost with me. Now he just wants to deceive masses of people. I had this dream almost 20 years ago that everything became so massive, like God showed me a dream, and I was shaking America, and Dateline put out a line story on me. He's a cult. Look at all these millions of people following him. And they was all coming to my house trying to get me to say something. I would just say, no comment. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Get that darn camera out of my face. I told one of them in my dream, get that darn microphone out of my face. That's right, I said it. You got to understand, if you went through pressure because of this little junk here, what do you think you're going to go through when the whole world from a big syndicate is saying David E. Taylor is a bunch of trash? And all of your relatives are believing them because they don't know no better. They don't even know me. You know me. You've been around me. You know the stuff ain't true. If I was a cult, you would have my Kool-Aid. But I've already told you I love Kool-Aid too much. I ain't giving you my freaking Kool-Aid. I grew up at a time when the Kool-Aid guy would bust through the wall. Y'all remember that? Those are my days. Y'all understand that? You ain't having him. I love him, especially the grape kind. That's right. So if I was a Jim Jones, you would have my Kool-Aid, but I ain't like him. I ain't giving out no Kool-Aid because I love it too much. Won't you tell them that? What happens is when God takes you to another dimension, there's a higher level of warfare that comes against you. And if your spirit isn't clean, Satan finds what he can use in you. When it was Jesus' time to go to trial and he was being attacked by the Sanhedrin, and watch this now the whole government of Rome was after him. That was big. When you got to Rome, huge. They ruled the world. That's why the media in America is huge, because they rule the world. We're the Western power. But the point is, Rome had Jesus on trial. Rome. And what did Jesus tell his disciples? He says, hereafter, or after this point, we're sitting down eating, I won't do a lot of talking with you because the prince of this world cometh. I told you this is really a spiritual war. It ain't about no darn Dateline and CNN. That's why I don't give a freak. What do you think? I'm going to have a gun in my head, kill myself? Oh, I'm going through an attack like these other weak pastors. Listen, I already know who's behind this, and we've already fought, and he's lost. Dateline and CNN, you just a darn cleanup crew. Darn idiots. And you all know over the last few years, we've been increasing all over the world. God sent an intercessor to me about 15 years ago. And at that time, I was wondering, when is the thing in St. Louis going to happen where you will come down on earth with me, validate me in front of the world, and come on earth with the latter rain glory? I was asking him, when is it going to be? Because the years had passed by and nothing had happened. And my intercessory team was praying. And then he came to one person on my intercessory team and said, tell him this will be an indication around the time it will happen. He will be prominent worldwide, all over the world. I never knew God would do it like that. At that time, I was just known here and there on the international circuit. And even today, I'm not prominent. Prominent means well known in every country. I'm not well known. I'm known, but not well known. That's coming. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. About around that time, the move of God is going to hit St. Louis. You see, the Lord has communicated with me about my destiny and about my future. I already know what's coming. I know what's going to happen. That's why when my last staff betrayed me, I looked at them like a bunch of idiots. What is wrong with you? Jesus already showed you what you were going to do. He already showed you what he's going to do with me. So that means I'm going to be around when you're gone. But they all point a finger at me. Oh, look, he going down. His ministry going to. Oh, am I? Where are you? I'm still around. I don't see none of you jacklegs. Do you understand? It's eternal. I have an eternal covenant with God. No man can mess with that. It's because I gave up my whole life not to do ministry, but to be in love with him. And I found a place in him that's near the cliff, that's on the rock beside him, and I ain't giving that place up for nothing. And because I found face to face, he's given me unspeakable covenants of an eternal measure. So if you, Dateline and CNN, is not releasing a squad with rifles to shoot me, what the freak is your attack? Please, it's not doing nothing for me. Get some rifles and blast me up against the wall. Send me to heaven, freaks. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I don't care. And the point is, when you care too much, you get caught up in the attack, you get caught up in the war, and they deceive you and they knock you out. Jesus says, hereafter the prince of this world cometh and find nothing in me. In other words, I'm clean. That's why Jesus says, if you don't let me clean you, because I'm the only one who is perfectly clean. I'm the one who know how to clean you. Yeah, you ain't perfect, but I know the right stuff that is in you that's wrong, that's going to make you betray. And I know to clean that part of you so that when the attack comes, you won't fall off. If you don't let me clean you, we don't have no part. You're going to separate from this. Do you understand? Lift your hands and say, Lord, I want you to speak to me. Come on, say, in night visions and dreams. Come on. I want you to clean me through the spoken word. I don't just want the written word. I want the spoken word out of your mouth. Come on. I need to know what you see in me that's wrong. I want to deal with that. I want the spoken voice in a dream from you about me. So I can be clean in that area. So, you know, I've had people ask me, well, why is it hard for us? It ain't hard for you to betray. Because I have already made up my mind to get to a point with God where I love to be cleaned. I'm willing to do anything. That's death. I'm willing to do anything. I'm not lying to you. Anything. He asked me one year, he says, you want to be close to me? He says, are you willing to do anything? I said, anything. I wanted to be in the relationship with him so bad that I didn't care about nothing. And I still don't. So the devil can't come to me and make me betray you. There are no dreams about me betraying you. I'm not even on that level. Listen to what he says. If I watch thee not, thou hast no part with me. And I want you to discern that the fact that the Lord is having me have all the staff coming here for the last 2 days and to preach this shows that some kind of attack is coming up that you got to pass. And if you don't, the Father will cast you away. And this season of Rosh Hashanah is the time where he has to clean you. So you got to say now, you got to say, God, I want you to preserve me from presumptuous sins, or I want you to preserve me from future stuff, sins, or future, if there's been dreams shown that I'm going to betray in the future, I want you to clean me of that stuff now. I want you to give me your spoken word in a dream and show me why I will betray. You see, when I was 17 and 18, I was already praying to God about why am I going to go to hell? So you got some people, they're going to go to hell because they don't know why they're going. I asked God to show me early. so I can start dealing with it. And I have 30 years ahead of it. Do y'all understand? Some people go to hell and don't know why. Because they don't get ahead of it. They don't ask God ahead of time. What is wrong with me? What will I do in the future? What will send me there? What is my thing? Do y'all understand me? Lift your hands and say, Lord, give me revelation. Say it. You see, the word that I'm preaching tonight is going to save your soul. This is the word spoken that the Lord wants you to hear. Do you hear me? He wants you to hear this. So listen to this. Simon Peter saith unto him, and he said, Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. See, Peter, once he understands, he said, hey, get all of it, God. You got to understand when you say, God, hey, I was stupid right there, but I understand now. Get it all. My hands and my head. Wash all of me. If you want to put some mud in my eyes, I don't care. Spit in the mud, I don't care. Just get me clean. Ugh, I don't want no spit. God, I want your spit in everything. I don't care what it is. If it's going to clean me and open my eyes, clean me up, God. Clean me from the head to my toes. Come on, wash me, make me clean. Oh, shake me till I can't be shaken no more. Clean my ears so I can hear your voice. Clean my hearing so I don't hear nobody but you. Clean my mouth so I only say what you want me to say. Clean every whit of me. Clean me, God. Hallelujah. 10, Jesus saith unto him, he that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye, watch this, and he says, ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore he says, ye are not all what? Clean. So watch this. Judas had not even betrayed him yet, and he was saying his heart ain't clean. So you got to know that if God has shown dreams about you going to be a traitor, you ain't clean. You ain't clean. So what is the uncleanness? We're talking about the cleanness. What is the uncleanness? A betrayer. Let me tell you something. Most of the people who betray GMMI or betray this, guess who Satan make them point at? Do you think they're going to point at God? That's wrong? No. Who do they point at? David E. Taylor. They find some kind of offense or some kind of problem they feel is wrong with me, and they think that justifies them. Unclean heart right there. They didn't let God clean them. Because the point is, the moment you start pointing a finger at anybody, you are saying you're better than them. You're saying you're higher than them. You are saying they should be like you, when you are a miserable sinner yourself. Miserable duck. The Bible says all have sinned and come short of what? The glory. How can you point a finger at anybody and you messed up too? Amen. You see the deception? That's uncleanness. God calls that uncleanness. When you betray somebody for judgmental reasons, unclean. You are unclean. And you've been sent here to get cleaned. The point is, whether I'm right or wrong, I'm still going where God wants me to go. You can't stop that. I have paid a price that's insurmountable that you could never understand until you get to heaven. You can't understand it down here on earth. That's why he's chosen me. So the very person that want to say something against somebody God has chosen is stupid. And why would you listen to them? For instance, even David's son, Absalom, and his counselor started to turn against David because David had killed a man's wife in cold blood, set him up to die in a war, took his wife, and then had a baby with her. We know that's bad. Now, everybody want to quote the Psalms, but all of these pastors that's always judging everybody, they don't never think about the Psalms was written by someone who murdered somebody. Oh, but they don't think about that because David is out of sight, he's out of mind. See that? But what if you lived in David's day? What position would you have taken? The sweet psalmist of Israel makes a major mistake in his life, something worse than I've ever done. But he kills someone, takes his wife, has a baby, all of this, which was worthy of death, and God says, I'm not going to kill you because I have an eternal covenant with you. If David lived in America, what would have been his sentence? They would have tried to kill him. They would have tried to impeach him like they're trying to do Donald Trump. But you can't impeach a king. That's the difference in a president and a king. There ain't nobody's going to take you down. They have to fight to get you off the throne. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? They have to do what? Fight. So they can't just throw you off the throne. If God puts you up, only he can take you down. And that's the other thing, leaders. God put me up. None of you did. That's why you can't take nothing I have. The point is, David did all of this stuff, but here it is. God said, I've found David, my servant. Now, you got to understand, God goes through generations to find somebody to choose them. He has to go through millions and millions of people to find who can I choose to do this job. And then he don't do it when he gets to the generation where David is born. He does it before the foundation of the world. The Bible says we have been predestined in him before the foundation of the world. Before the world was formed, God knew us. He foreknew us. So in other words, he made all these choices about who he could be king or who he could put king and what person he would allow to come out of heaven and become a child and be born in what generation to be that king. Y'all not talking to me. God has to go through generations to choose somebody. And so if he went over billions of people, multiple time billions in generations and millions to choose one man, why you think he's going to let somebody's opinion change his? Amen. Because what God is saying, yeah, you may say he did this and that, but you probably would have done worse in that position. Number two, I know you would have never did my will, because if you would have, I would have chosen you. So I chose David for a reason. So when you see him make mistakes, you don't change my decision. That's what happened in America. When they see people make mistakes, they think God has changed his mind or changed this. Listen, when God chooses a man, he didn't just choose him in that generation and then when he make a mistake, oops, I made a mistake. No, God foreknew that he was the best choice throughout billions of people. So he ain't gonna let nobody on Facebook or nowhere else change his decision about who he chooses. You're an idiot to believe that God is that shallow, that his mind operates like yours. And the moment you see somebody make a mistake, you fall off the throne and you think God did too. How wicked of you to think that about somebody as great as that. When he said, I've chosen a man and you follow them, then you should trust his choice. Even when the man is going through a trial or a time or weakness, believe me, God's choice is better than you. God's choice is better than your opinions. The Bible says he's choosing the weak things of the world to confound the wise. Remember, God's weakness is greater than your wisdom. You may say, I got wisdom. I would have never chosen. But see, this is the point. If you don't let God give you words like I'm talking about, see, these words have to be spoken to me. They clean me. So when a leader or somebody make a mistake, I ain't trying to kill them. I'm trying to invite them so I can restore them. Especially God's chosen ones. Because I understand. You don't throw people away because they fall down in the mud. You ain't going to throw a $50 million diamond away if it falls in cow maneuver on you. Freak. You're going to even put your hand in that stuff. Because you're going to be $50 million richer. Broke self. What makes you think human beings are any less valuable than $50 million? That if they fall in the mud, that you discard them and do away with them. God thought we were so valuable that he gave his only begotten son to die for us, to keep us and preserve us. We must have the same mindset about each other. Amen. Why would God give that kind of value to us? You must give that kind of value to your fellow man and woman. You wrong and you wicked when you don't. You don't have the heart of God. Do you understand that? I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling all of you who are watching all over the world the truth. The eternal truth.
You too can experience the supernatural miracles of God in every area of your life, just like thousands of others.
Call now the 24/7 Global Prayer Line to receive a prophetic word, prayer for healing, and your anointed prayer cloth.
Connect and follow David E. Taylor on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, and Livestream. For updated itinerary, events, and for more information, visit joshuamediaministries.org.